Welcome to my third Let's Play video. We have some interesting things for this edition in Foundry. This is Foundry Update 2, and as you can see, I've unlocked lava caves. Dramatic roll on the drums there, or whatever you want to see. I also have a jetpack, so I can fly around. So there's all these wonderful lava caves, but in a way it's kind of pointless because really the only thing I'm going to need it for is one little spot, but that's okay. It looks cool. It really does look cool. And as you can see, most of it's open, which is kind of weird. But the way you get down here is to come down through a lava cave access, which I will show you on the map here as I zoom in. See this? It's a lava cave shaft. And that's how you get down to here. Instead of just dropping out of the ceiling, you come down through this part of the rock. Alright, so that's really cool, but let's show you all the other cool features. But the first thing is I have something that uses the lava to smelt firmarlite. Remember we talked about this yesterday? I think it should be firmarlite. There it is. But it says it's firmarlite, but I'll just not pronounce that R, the second R. Firmarlite, as I said yesterday, is like money. It's like gold. You can buy and sell things with it, but you can also craft with it. And in this smelter, we melt down the firmarlite into a sheet, and the sheet can be used for other things. So I have an assembly line here that brings the firmarlite down from the surface and stores it, and then brings it up and uses it and smelts it and burns it and turns it into sheets. Now let's do one other thing here that's scary. I'm going to shut off my jetpack. Oh yeah, turns out the lava isn't really going to bother me at all. Apparently lava here isn't very dangerous. So I'll highlight a few other things here since I'm down here. This is how you set up a conveyor belt in and out. You have an intake and an output. The screen tells you what's going on, and if you press the key E, it allows you to zoom in and see the screen in detail without having to get close to it. And then I have storage containers on both sides. That's back when I was having difficulties with my elevator. I could not get my freight elevator to work. It turns out I wasn't trying to go down this lava shaft, and as a result, I wasn't getting any kind of access with my freight elevator. And this is the freight elevator. This is the bottom of it, and I'll show you it here. This goes up to the surface. Can handle quite a lot. It has ports on the sides. That's what those things are. This is a loader, and that's the port. And there's ports all the way around the freight elevator. But here's the human elevator, which you can use. You can put it on the surface and then select a level, and it will dig down to that level, or it'll go up, so you can create a tower with it. But right now we're just going to go to the surface so we can continue our tour of Let's Play 3. A lot of things have happened since I last did a video, even though it's only been a few hours. So I'll try to go through and highlight them. I know some people might think it's odd that it's a Let's Play and you're not actually seeing a lot of gameplay, but I think it would be boring to watch me laying out a belt. But maybe I'll do an example to show you how the belt system works. And here we go. Ta-da! And now I'm back on the surface. Yeah, let me show you how the belt system works. This is kind of cool. Oh, I need to make some belts. Oh, this is how crafting works, by the way. You press the C key, and then you select how many of something you want made. And then it makes it. Easy peasy. And you can queue them up. You can see in the bottom left corner, down where my cursor is waving around, you queue up the items you want made. That's crafting. Inventory is over here on the right, and there's an auto sort. There is a mod that sorts, instead of alphabetical, it sorts by type, which is actually more logical. But when I started this update 2, I decided not to use any mods at all. I do have one loaded now. I'll bring up quickly. This is called Planet Planner, and it was updated for update 2, which is nice. So if you, for instance, want to make steel and you want to make 40 per minute, it shows you what you need to make and put together for that steel. So it's pretty cool. It's very useful. It's in game, and when the author updated it for update 2, it now has all of the new components and the new ratios. So here's the head of that freight elevator that I was showing you, and we have the firmarlite sheets coming out, and I'm storing them just for now. I will set up a system that uses them. All right, I wanted to show you the thing with the belt here, because this is kind of cool. This came with update 2. Let's say I want to lay out a belt. If I hold down the left mouse button and bring it out, I can make it bend different ways. I can also press the R key, which sets a fixed point, and set it again, and set it again, and set it again. I can just, make all sorts of fun things with it. Or I can also do this. I can drag it. I press the E key, and it goes up. And I can press the E key again, and it'll go up again. And here's something also cool. So if I rotate it around and go this way, it'll automatically lift itself over other belts. So it's very cool. It makes laying out belts a lot faster than it used to take. All right, let's show you some more things. You'll notice my jetpack here flying along. It's really the thing you sort of beeline to as soon as you unlock Science 3 and unlock a few things, is to be able to use the jetpack, because it's so much easier to build and get around and everything else. You manufacture your fuel, but it doesn't take too long to manufacture a whole bunch of it. Plus you get a nice view of everything. Now, one of the things I didn't show you last time, these are my steam turbines. This now generates electricity for the system, for the whole factory. 3 boilers, 3 turbines. And it's much easier just to go ahead and build them on a platform next to the water, and then put down, like here, dirt, so you can walk around, rather than trying to cut down the dirt or put platforms up higher. Now the other thing we have, and we'll zoom over there a little faster, is we are now drilling for olumite, which is, as I've mentioned, a petroleum equivalent. It's the little pump jacks, that's what those are, is pump jacks, are not going up and down because I've got a full tank here, but I'll walk around here and show you things. So this is crude olumite, and right now I'm manufacturing 2 things with the olumite. I'm taking the crude olumite and making low density olumite that's essentially like gasoline, and I'm also making liquid polymer. Now with the liquid polymer, I'm making polymer boards. That's what that is. And you use them to make circuit boards and a number of other items. On the other side here, I'm making the low density olumite right now just so I can make fuel, and that's what that is fuel, liquid fuel. Oh wait, I can just press E and you can read it a little better. Liquid fuel. And then I send it through a fluid assembler, and the fluid assembler makes rocket fuel. So that's how I make my rocket fuel. And then because it uses xenoferrite plates, I can transfer a stack of xenoferrite plates over there and let it start making some more. And then I see the smoke coming out. The game is very graphic that way. you'll be able to tell that a building is doing its job if stuff comes out of the top, out of the smokestack. If it's not, then it stopped for some reason. This building stopped because the storage is full. All right, so we visited those two places. Let's head back and show what's going on in our other parts of the factory. You'll notice there's a conveyor belt snaking around. This is the firmarlite facility, and right now I don't have it integrated with the rest of the factory. I have to hand carry the stuff, but that's only because I haven't gotten there. Now here's another interesting part. We'll go over the thing that says mineral rock first. That's mineral rock. Mineral rock can be turned into gravel. It can be crushed up and help to make concrete, and it's very useful. And it's coming up on an elevator, a freight elevator, and then I also have my human elevator here. But let me show you, this is kind of fun. I'm going to open the configuration frame and add a station. And you notice the surface is at 132. I'm going to add one that goes to 144. I'll call it Outlook. You have to add a name and you have to add a height, and then when you confirm it, it's automatically building it above you. And see? And when it gets done, you'll be able to go in that elevator and ride it up to that higher level. It's kind of cool. Alright, so we're bringing out the mineral rock and we're taking it over here and we're making concrete with it. And I'm using a lot of concrete because Science Pack 3, or Science 3 packs, third level, use a lot of concrete, which is the white cubes going off. So I take part of that mineral rock and put it through crushers and turn it into gravel. And it gets turned into, when you mix it with the xenoferrite ore, you get, well, here again, I'll show you. You get cement, which comes in bags of it. Or you can take the gravel, which comes in the backs of here, and then the cement and gravel and water make concrete. And that's what here. Now, I had to have water for this, but there's not water nearby. There's water on the other side of this range of hills, this ridgeline. So, how do I get that water? Well, I could either go up and over, or I could get my little digger tool, here, my drill, or I could use explosives and blast a tunnel, which is what I did. That's why it says tunnel to water. I actually used my explosives to dig a hole, and then I trimmed it so that I could access all the way through. And it's just tapping the water right there. I'll show you a little feature here. When you bring up the tablet and then click it, it gives you information on the pipe network. This is something that's been added in update 2. There's an item called complexity now. Basically, you can have up to 300 pipe sections. Once you have more than that, you need to use pumps to connect the sections, because if you do have more than 300, you go to 10% of the flow through, which isn't very good. And the idea here is to try to break up the sections for calculations. They originally had actually done the calculations per each of these segments, and it required a lot of computer processing to do that. So now what you have is you have nodes. You go from this node all the way out to all the nodes here where they end in the different places. We'll turn off the tablet. And this is 258 nodes. And so those 258 nodes are calculated all at once. The pipe does take some time to fill up, but it's not an actual tracking the water or the fluid in each section. It's just a calculation. If there's 250 segments, and it takes a minute, then it's every 12 seconds, 1/5 of the pipe fills. You get 1/5 of the fluid in there. That's how it works. So it works out really well. It saves on computing power, and ultimately it makes the game run nicer. Oh, let's go over here. So here's my tower. I've just finished building it. Pretty cool. And I could actually press this button and have the elevator go up here to the outlook. And if you want to be really slick, and who doesn't, you can put steps out here, or you can put a catwalk. Watch, it'll get there. See, how about that? Automatically put railings so you don't do anything stupid like step off. It's really a neat addition. It adds nice to the immersion of the game. Alright, so this is the part of the facility we had before. It's making Science 1 packs. And I didn't change it. I just have the Science 1 packs on those belt right there. And this is my research servers. So I've got the blue Science 1 packs, and the red Science 2 packs, and the green Science 3 packs. It's because I'm not doing any research. So let me select some research. So let's see what looks good. We can't pick anything that's got 4 dots underneath it, 4 different colors, because we haven't unlocked Science 4 yet. So we'll just pick hover engine, which is used for drones. I'll get more into drones in a minute. Alright. That's the long facility that's used for making plates. There's crushers that crush the rubble, because I'm using the tier 1 as I showed earlier. So I can use upgraded tier 2 plates will be made, because now the rubble's all crushed up. The ore is crushed into smaller rubble. Let me show you this too while we're over here. I've now broken up each of these factory segments into their own standalone areas, and each one has their own grid that they're on. So I can click a button and look at that grid, and it's right here in the center, the transformers, and it says that the load on that is about 860 kilowatts, 4 crushers, 32 loaders, and 12 smelters. Now there is also a mod out there, another interesting mod, that allows you to actually turn these transformers on and off right here in the power grid information. Otherwise I'd have to fly to the individual transformers and turn them on and off. So that's how we're making plates, and of course I have storage for plates because it's one of the most used items along with rods. And here's the storage for the rods. Same way, I have crushers, and then I have smelters. It doesn't take as much to make the rods. And of course the great thing about Foundry is that you can look down at a belt and see how much it's being used, and if it's going off to a production site, you can make sure the production site has enough supply. Now that belt is red and that one's yellow. That's because that's a conveyor belt type 2, which is faster, and it's not very expensive, but it takes more components to make. So I don't want to upgrade them unless they need to be upgraded. Now here's another facility where we're making electrical components. That's what those are. And the ones over here, we're making machine parts. I'll show you the ship in a second. And so I have various belts that are going off and making different things. And as you can see here, we have a main bus belt. Now I brought in the concrete, is now joined up into the main bus, and moved over here so that we can have our main bus get wider and wider. And as I've shown before, but you couldn't see it because I wasn't flying, if you need to take a tap off, like for instance for here, because I'm making Science 3 over here, and Science 3 requires 3 inputs. So take them off the belt, I just ramp it up, put it through a splitter, turn one leg of the splitter off to go to my production facility, and the other one goes back down and becomes part of the main bus again. And the same thing, see, those are firmarlite bars there, but not sheets, bars. I need them to make Science 3. Oops, something just got researched. We'll just keep making research here while we're there. Advanced explosive. A lot of fun. When you start blowing things up, that's always useful. Let's see. So, that's science. Just like in Foundry, in Satisfactory and Factorio, the early part of the game is all about science and research. However, in this game, now with the update 2, it's also about making robots, because you sell robots. Oh, that's my steel facility. I forgot to mention that. Steel's important too. So, I have a production line that's making vacuum robots. And vacuum robots, you see this production line right here, are going to this place. This is a landing pad where my vacuum bots are being sent and sold. This pad can land a small cargo ship or a cargo ship T2. You can actually restrict the pads not to bring in certain ships types. I haven't figured out why that's important, but it probably is. Now, the vacuum bots are being sold on the space station, and right now they aren't. I'm making a lot more than they need to sell. Oh, here he comes. Come and make another pickup. Now watch what happens. This is kind of cool. I hadn't noticed this before. See these blue boxes? That's what's, shoot. Well, those on other. Oh, here. Never mind. There's another one here. This is a transport bots, and he's coming in here to load up. And apparently nobody is taking these. There you go. The tower guy actually starts going down as it's loaded into the ship. And that's what that indicates. It's a visual. Another nice thing about this game is there's a lot of visual clues, and this helps to show that the supply that's being kept inside of the landing pad is decreasing. That one isn't, because there are so many vacuum bots. As soon as you load one in the ship, you got a whole line of them going in. But if you look here, I'm not producing enough transport bots to replace it, but that's because transport bots are selling like hotcakes. And I have one more landing pad, and this is the firmarlite bars are being brought down from the space station. And why? Because I use them for production. As you can see, this is a belt that's going off in the distance, and it goes off that way and snakes over and snakes over, and eventually ends up at the Science 3 facility. And as I said, firmarlite is just like gold. It's money and it's craft. Alright, so we'll stop here again. This is my research servers. Right now, because I've been lax at occasionally selecting a new item for research, I've got a backup supply of all the sciences. Which happens, or it happens when you're ready to go to the next science, like Science 4, and you can't research anything until you get the next level ready. So they tend to back up, and then you use them pretty fast. Alright, now here's this is the xenoferrite, which we use to make plates. And this is a rather large, I don't know what you call it, deposit. There we go, that's a good word. See? And I've barely touched that. This planet has abundant resources, so I suspect that that's a larger one than expected. Now, if I bring up the map, we're right here, you'll notice that there's another one just south of here that I can go tap. And So there's a lot of resources. There's another olumite reservoir over here. There's a lava cave shaft, olumite. I don't see another technum. That's the other one, the blue stuff. A lot of olumite for some reason. But I can explore. See how this is irregularly shaped? When you fly towards an area of the map, it starts unlocking maps in various directions. It starts unlocking the map in the direction you're flying towards. Later on, you can also build a facility it'll be a building that scans further and further out. That's really helpful. All right, so we've shown all the areas. Let's take a look at all the space station stuff. This is kind of fun. So right now, to go to the space station, I have to go to this spot. Later on, I'll get a handheld device. All right, this is space station. It's coming along nicely. I don't have any upgrades active right now, but we'll see what's available. Reactors are always handy. But this one requires 5,000 construction material. I have 425. So I think we'll hold off on doing that one. What else we got? We can go to solar panels. Solar panels require a lot less, but don't add as much power. If you can see the cursor, I've used 8 of the 10 total hangar space. But the cargo bay could be expanded. So I can look at that. See, if I spend money, I can repair the cargo bay and then I can start expanding it. So we'll just do that. All right, so station upgrade off. Storage. Right now, this is the construction material. That number matches that number. This is the firmarlite I've got in here, 129,000. I'm guessing later in the game I'm going to go through it a lot faster, but I seem to be making hand over fist. And then the various bots. There's 5 types of bots I've unlocked so far in the game I've researched. 2 of them I'm actually constructing, and they're coming up here to the space station. And then they're sold various ways, which I'll show you. And this shows you that right now I've got 39 bots still on board. And I can say a minimum to keep on the station and a maximum to ship to the station. Right now there's a limitation of 200 until I expand my cargo bay. So spaceships. I own this many spaceships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can rename them. I have 2 of them going off to the galactic market to get me more construction material. That's what their job is. I've got 3 on supply routes going to planets, and then 3 coming to the planet I'm on to ferry those robots I'm building up and to bring the firmarlite down. Sales platform. Alright, sales platform is something when you don't want to have to connect to another planet, you just want to sell stuff because you have it, you can list it here. You can sell for the regular price, you can ask for more money or less money, and it'll say what the hourly demand is. And then, of course, there's always things you can set. You can say to how much to keep on in stock, which might be handy for some of them. For instance, transportation bot, I don't want to really sell it unless I'm way overstocked, because I'm selling them on my ships, as I will show you in a minute. So we'll say right now, hold on to 100 of them. All right, we'll just go up through this way. Here's my finances, my transportation bot, in the past hour, how much I've made, how much I've stored, and you can see how it's a sawtooth graph, because I get some and then they're either sold or they're taken away on ships. And sales in the past hour, galactic sales, and sales platform sales. Sales platform for like the vacuum bot, I'm only selling it on the platform, the space station. They sell it to people stopping by and say, hey, I could use that vacuum bot. And you can say in the past hour I've sold 1,261. And so it's a pretty steady purchasing. I don't know what people are doing in these things, but they go through them like nothing. Here's an accounting history. You can tell 15,000, 16,000 is what I'm making usually per day. It's my sales charts. I've got 3 other bots that I have unlocked, but I'm not selling at all. I've got 2 of them that I'm selling. You can see the transportation bot. I'm making almost 1,000 every day of sales. I'm sorry. I think that's not sales. That's the bots I'm selling every day. Yeah, 900. And then here's my finances. And this is the profit, 21,000, 22,000. So I'm doing really well. This last number is down only because we're part way through today. So you can tell that I'm doing really well. And the sales on the profits on the firmarlite bars. Oh, I'm sorry, not profits of firmarlite bars. That's how you measure the money you're making in firmarlite bars. I get confused. It's money, basically. Okay. Oh, and competitors. This is everybody else who's battling with you for the galactic domination. You can see down here at the very bottom, Temple Update 2, that's my company's name. We have no market dominance. We're making 1/100th of what other companies are making, maybe 1/200th. And lifetime earnings are very low, but they've all got an earlier start than me. So the idea is that to really try to win the game, you want to be the top company. I don't know what it's going to take to do that. It must be really something. And finally, we'll look at the galactic map, or the galaxy map. Oop, just finished another research. Alright, so here's the space station, and you can see there's little ships moving, and it's just a graphic representation. If I click on it, it just tells me that this is the cargo ship number 13. It's heading to Alrosis, and it doesn't say what's on it, but I can look that up in one of the other pages. And there's another one. He's heading out towards this planet. Now if I click on the planet, I can see what's happening. It says there's a demand per hour of 96 transportation bots, and all the other bots are 96. I'm supplying 96 bots per hour, and the cost base price is 20. Market share. Here's a look at it. You can tell that I've had in the logistics bots. That's bots are divided up into, as you can see over here on the left, 6 different categories. So the bots that I'm sending out there are the transportation bots, which are logistics, and I have 16% of the market. Keel and Compass doesn't even sell them here. So it just means that the overall market on that planet, I have 16% of it. On appliances, which is the vacuum bots, I'm not selling any, and Forge Innovations is selling 83. Yeah, as you can see, there's a transportation bot, a screen bot, vacuum bot, light bot are the types that are being sold here. Now there isn't some way you can just, see the categories right there. You can appliances, and logistics. So if I want to sell more here, I need to start making one of these types of bots and bring it over. And then there's inflow on the planet, which is kind of fun. It has no effect on the game, but it's cool. Now, as I showed before, if I zoom all the way out, there's a lot of stars, or a lot of planets, systems, I guess you'd call them. And all of these you can eventually start trading with. So that's a lot. But you need to have trade licenses. And you can't just go to any old planet. Now, I can acquire a license for this planet if I spend 4,000 firmarlite. But I can't go to this one because I don't have a link. I'm linked to it. You have to go to the sector beforehand to be linked. So could I link here? Yes, I could do that because I now can unlock up to 5 sectors, with my current configuration of the space station. Alright, that's everything at the space station for right now. Oh, that's sector type. See the buttons here. Market dominance is the color. Is blue is me, so I'm not dominating any markets. And then the sector type shows the predominant type of bot that's wanted there. Alright, so we're back here again on the planet. We'll just take one last look. Burn a little more fuel. And that's the overview. That's shows you what's going on right now. So just as an idea, we're going towards a couple of things here. One, we want to start building science for packs, because that'll allow me to unlock more science, because there's still a lot left in the tree I haven't gotten to. That's one part of it. But also, I can start making more robots and different types of robots to sell in galactic space. So that would be my other motivation of things to do. And right now I am the tiniest, smallest competitor in the galactic market of selling robots. And so if I'm going to start selling enough to work my way up that table I showed you with all of the robots, with all the different corporations, I need to have a lot more than like one pad selling robots. So that's also one of my goals, is to start doing that. So we'll wind this up right now. One last look as we pull back, and we'll see you again for the fourth Let's Play video.